Hi, I'm Bradley Summers, and I'm going to give you my testimony today. Um, I grew up in North Miami, Oklahoma. I grew up in a family of drug addicts and meth users. And for most of my life, running drugs and doing things I ought not to do was normal everyday life for me. Um, when I was about 12, I smoked my first joint. It's got just a way to escape reality because when I was 13, uh, a kid and I was in group therapy with, he had me up in my treehouse and he raped me. Messed with my head a lot. And I always tried to escape reality by using drugs. I've been using most of my life. By the time I was 16, I'd turned my back from God and I had started following the Wiccan religion. I mean, I've got pentagrams tattooed on my pinkies, regrets from my past. Um, by the time I was 21, I'd made my way to here in Kentucky and I met my first wife. And, uh, well, she was a Christian and I was a Wiccan, and it didn't start off very well. We argued a lot, and by about 4 years into our marriage, we'd split up, and she was living in St. Charles. I was living out on the backwood cut out here outside of Dawson Springs. Uh, One day I had to walk to St. Charles to get something for her grandfather because I was living with him, and I got over there, it wasn't there, and so I had to walk back, and it was a long, hot day, and I get halfway back and go down this little hill where there's a bridge at the bottom. I sat down on the side of the road, and I was done. I mean, I'd been using drugs so hard and smoking meth and running and gunning, thinking I was the shiz, and it just, I was exhausted. I was done. I laid back and I said, Lord, take me. I'm done. And mind you, I was wicked. I didn't believe in God. I cast spells. That's what I did. But I said, Lord, I'm done. Take me home. And I laid back. And not 2 seconds after I laid on the side of the road, chicken truck that hauled chickens passed by my head this far. I sat up scared. I didn't realize how much I wanted to live. Well, a guy picked me up in a truck right afterwards. Awful coincidental because he gave me a ride back to Dawson Springs and he gave me an MP3 player. Had like 7 songs on it, gospel songs. And I got to where I was staying that night and I listened to the MP3 player all the way to the end. By the time I was done with it, I was on my knees and praying, asking God to save me. Now, for the next 4 years after that, I still using drugs, still running, not doing what I was supposed to. I lost my ex-wife 3 times, and God gave her back to me every time. The last time He didn't, and I went off the deep end. I lost my job, and That's when I started shooting meth. Yeah, I was trying to kill myself. I wasn't trying to get high. I was trying to end it. That's what I was doing. But little did I know I'd put just enough to make me addicted, not to kill me. Because the Lord had it, if I had it my way, I would have been dead. Instead, what I did is I released a monster that I had inside me I didn't know I had. And for the next 4 years, I was running the streets, robbing people, stealing, just to get that next high. That's all I did. That's all I did. Now, mind you, I got a 10-year-old daughter. She's everything to me. But I lost her. I didn't see her for 4 years. Not for a single day for 4 years. And sad thing is, for the first 7 years of her life, I was there. I was the stay-at-home parent. It ripped me apart. And it just made me want to get higher to escape that pain. And then 2 years ago, uh, I was standing out in front of the church out here in Dawson. It was raining and freezing. I'd just gotten to the fight I was with the guy I was living with. Guess he was trying to hit on the girl that I had over trying to flirt with. Made me mad. And, well, I made a stupid choice and I swung on him and I ended up getting kicked out and on the street, which apparently was God's plan because that's where I needed to be, in front of that church that night. I stayed in front of that church. It was cold, it was sleeting, and I was in a t-shirt and shorts, and it was cold. I didn't have service on my phone. The Wi-Fi was barely working. I couldn't call the preacher or the phone number on the church. And lo and behold, somebody I was friends with when I was working in Princeton happened to message me, said, "Hey, are you okay?" And I said, "No. Could you call this number and tell them I'm standing out front? I'm homeless and I'm freezing." And the pastor down here at, what's that church? Redemption City showed up and let me in the building. And I had made it. See, I'd made a agreement while standing there because I couldn't get a hold of nobody while I was in front of the church. And I told the Lord, I said, "You help me. I'll turn away from this life. I will walk away and I'll be yours." I wasn't trying to make no deal. It's just that's how it come out. That's when my friend messaged me. uh, they come down there and they let me in. They fed me, they talked to me. Brother Bradley helped me a lot. He talked to me about what I needed to do. He helped me get down to the recovery program on Bowling Green, and I was there for about a year and a half. I had problems at first trying to just get clean, but I kept going, and we had this meeting that I went to down there. It was a Christian-based meeting, and can't remember the name of it now. But we'd sing and they'd feed us and we'd get the gospel. I stayed with the church best I could, and I left because there was still everybody in the recovery home was still getting high, and I didn't want to be around it. So I threw my hands up and said, "Lord, this ain't where I need to be." And I said, "I'm going to go back home so I'll be around my kid. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm going to leave it in your hands." And I left. First night I slept in front of the car wash down here in Dawson Springs. But I tell you something, the Lord touched me because that next day I had somewhere to stay until the place I had found to rent come open. I've been coming out here to Walnut Grove and going out to Craner Church, and these people are everything. The Lord has brought me to these people and has delivered me, because this is all glory to God, because I don't do drugs no more. I'm going on 2 years clean come January after using it, and I'm 34, and I've been using drugs since I was 10 years old. But now, after not seeing my daughter for 4 years, I see her every weekend. I get to watch her dance and sing at church, be part of the church. This is something I didn't get when I was running and drugging. And it's not me, it's all thanks to God. That's my testimony. He helps me.